When we are solving problems in multiplication and division, it's important that we understand and know the order of operations. This little acronym BODMAS can help us remember the order of operations. We need to do each operation in the right order to get the correct answer. So remember our operations are division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. So what BODMAS stands for? The B stands for brackets. The O stands for orders, which we don't really need to worry about that because the orders are if we are doing square root or powers, and we're not up to doing that yet. But we do need to know the brackets. We need to know that the D is for division. M for multiplication. A for addition. And S for subtraction. Okay, so that's our BODMAS. Brackets, orders, which we're not worrying about, but division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So if we have a problem that has more than one operation, we always do the brackets first. Anything that's inside a bracket comes first. Then we do any divisions or multiplications. And then last, we do any addition or subtraction. Okay, brackets is always most important. Second most important is a division or a multiplication. And then lastly is an addition or a subtraction. Right, I'm going to give an example question now. So for example, if I had a question that said, say 2 plus 4 minus 1 and let's say times 3. I need to have a look at my BODMAS to see what comes first. So brackets come first. This is the part of the question I need to start at. So I leave my 2 plus, that's here. 4 take 1, 3. And then I've still got my times 3 over here. Okay, I've done my brackets. The next part that I need to do is any multiplication or division. So that's this part. That is my second most important. So my addition stays here the same. I'm not up to that yet. 2 plus, but 3 times 3 is 9. And then lastly now addition and subtraction. That's the final thing that you do. So now I've got 9 plus 2. 11 would be my final answer. Quick summary, I did the brackets, then I did the multiplication, and then lastly I did the addition. We will have a look at another.
What happens if I close it?
Let's say 50 minus, we'll go 5 times, and then I'll do a bracket, 4 divided by 2. Okay. First step is brackets. So my 4 divided by 2. My subtraction and multiplication part are going to stay the same for now. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So I've solved the part from inside my brackets.
I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going.
Okay, nextly I need to solve my any multiplication or division. So I've got 5 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. And lastly, I solve any addition or subtraction. So now I have 50,
Hello.
take 10, which gives me 40 as my final answer. All right, we'll look at one last one and I'll try to incorporate all of the operations for you. I'm going to change my question. Okay, got a multiplication, a division, a subtraction, and a plus and some brackets in there. Okay, first step is brackets. So I don't get overwhelmed at the fact that there's lots of numbers and lots of different symbols. I just work through my BODMAS step by step. I know the first step is brackets, so that's the only part I'm worrying about for now. The rest is staying the same. 8 times 6, that's easy too. And the rest is staying the same. Right, now that I've done my brackets, the next part is any division or multiplication, which I've got 2. So when you've got a multiplication and a division, they're equally important. So you do whichever is coming first in the number sentence. So in this one, the multiplication is before the division. So that's what I work on next. The 2 times 5. If the division was first, I'd work on the division first. So 2 times 5 is 10. All right, then I look again. Okay, so for multiplication and division, is there any more multiplication or division? And yes, there is. Okay, so that's because there was a multiplication and a division. I just did the first one first, and now I'm moving on to the next one. So 10 divided by 2 is my next step, which is 5. Rest of my sentence stays the same. And then now I look for, is there any addition or subtraction? The last part of my BODMAS, yes there is. There's an addition, 5 plus 3. There was a subtraction as well if you remember earlier, but it was inside the brackets, so it got solved first because brackets always come first. All right, 5 plus 3 is 8, and that's my final answer. So don't get overwhelmed when you look at this number sentence because it's actually quite simple. In the end, my answer was just 8. It wasn't a big scary answer or anything like that. it just looks a little bit intimidating because there's lots of numbers and lots of symbols. 2 times 5 divided by 8 minus 6 plus 3. But if you work through it step by step, it's nothing to be worried about. Just remember, the acronym that helps you know the order of your operations. Brackets first, then orders, which we don't have to worry about for now. Division or multiplication, they are the second most important thing, whichever one comes first. And then addition or subtraction, whichever one comes first.